Just going to give everyone a few minutes, but thanks so much for joining us today. We are excited to have all of you for our second webinar on how to use RebelMouse for brands. I'm not sure how many of you were here for our first one, but I know some people have come back for a second, so thank you for that. And we're going to go through our brand deck pretty quickly this time. We're going to go through much faster than last time, and we're going to do a lot of show and tell on how to play in our dashboard and toggle between different layout options, how to add custom fonts, as well as a whole bunch of visuals to get you thinking about what you guys can do. Does anyone have any questions to kick things off? Hi, Jackson Middleton. Thank you for joining us today. So gave everyone a couple minutes to join, so we're going to get started. To kick things off, we break RebelMouse into three main buckets: real-time social publishing, powerful curation and editorial tools, and native social ads. And I will explain how all of these three tie together. What you're looking at the bottom here is what the start off screen to rebelmouse.com looks like if you are not logged in or if you do not yet have a site. So even if you don't have a site yet, don't worry. I'm going to talk you through how to do that. And you will just need to be logged into any of your social networks, and you can launch your RebelMouse page while being signed in within seconds. You'll just claim your name. So that will be everyone's homework if you don't yet have a page. These are a bunch of our brands that we're already working with, and I'll show you what they did to make RebelMouse awesome as embeds within their websites. RebelMouse is a social publishing platform, but the most important piece of this is the second half. It lets you easily add the social layer to your CMS without having to do anything beyond putting a single line of code there that is smart and will read where it is. So it doesn't require hiring an entire web team to do a custom build. You just take the RebelMouse page and plug it in. And it lets you aggregate and curate all the social content within that embed that you're plugging into your site. It also empowers your social media team and the people closest to the content around your brand and the conversation to be able to make editorial choices to have this content pulled into your website. It's also fully mobile web responsive, and we have a native Android app coming first and iOS soon after that. We'll also show you how to create teaser modules that you can plug into the front page or a higher traffic area of your site, which can then lead to a fuller page embed elsewhere on your site. And last but not least, we'll show you how to monetize using sponsored content units that are built out of pieces of RebelMouse content. To give you some background on RebelMouse, this is our CEO, Paul Berry. He was the CTO of Huffington Post and built their whole system that led them to have massive amounts of traffic. And he also learned a lot of valuable lessons about how the back-end analytics behind content can teach you important lessons, especially if you take that knowledge and you react to it by editing and changing up your content on the fly to respond to what people are talking about and what's going viral. And those lessons have been applied to the ground up construction of RebelMouse. And We are based in New York City, but we have a global team of over 30 awesome developers and designers around the world who help build out the custom pages that you will see. This is a glimpse into our All-Star Investors and Board. I'm not sure if everyone heard the news, but we actually announced our Series A round of funding on Friday. So we're very excited about that and to get to work with such awesome people. Now, very important, even if you're a brand, a lot of our publishing partners are doing some really innovative things. A couple that I'm showing you right here is something that Fast Company did where they pulled in vines around a certain hashtag, which they posted on Twitter as a call to action, since all vines come through Twitter. And they got really awesome content. Some of it they took themselves, some of it was submitted by their users, and they combine them all into one page via RebelMouse embed and display that on the site. And that's something we definitely recommend you explore with. You can easily segment between Instagram, Vine content, Twitter, blog posts, whatever you wish. You can actually curate entire pages just around one medium and embed them right onto your site. What you're seeing on the right is something Men's Health did where they curated around one hashtag, risk game, and they had that call to action both on their website and on social media channels, and they ended up getting a really awesome response, and they would have their editors pull in and freeze the best pieces of content there, as you can see. So they would have one highlighted in this bigger spot you see, we call the splash, and then let other content flow in around it. And these are a bunch of the great publishers we're working with to date, not limited to them, but these are all people who have done pretty awesome visual, innovative things right on their sites using RebelMouse. If anyone has any specific questions and wants to see what any one of these publishers have done, just let me know. I'm already going to cover a bunch of them, but please reach out if you have anything specific. And so you guys are on here to learn about what brands can do, so we're psyched to tell you how you can be awesome. GE has been one of our earliest partners. They have pulled in all of their awesome social content into one embed right on GE.com. So this is functioning as a content hub for their brand. They're pulling in all of the great visual stuff across Twitter, Facebook, Pinterest, blogs, and pulling it all into one space. And they've been psyched with it since GE is this big company. They make everything from jet engines to washer and dryers to 3D printers. So this lets them highlight some of the cooler, more visual things that they're working on these days. Here is another consumer company. This is Sprout Baby Foods, which is a CPG, but they did something really great here that I want to highlight. They froze a great picture with a call to action in their splash that then leads their fans to submit content that they can turn into content for their page so that they're showing pictures of cute babies alongside food products. Tons of sports teams are getting into the game. We have representation from the 4 main leagues, from NFL, NHL, NBA, MLB, as well as MLS and foreign soccer leagues, and a number of other sports-related entities as well. USA Today Sports kicks butt with their page. So it's definitely a great space if you're curating in the sports area. Social TV is massive. I don't know if anyone's read some of the reports coming back from Nielsen and elsewhere talking about the impact of Twitter conversation on TV ratings, but it's been really great for TV shows and channels to be able to capture some of their own posts alongside their fan conversation to turn this into a more vibrant page. Continued on with another Fox property, The Following, and what they've done here is every Monday, they would want people to turn in to a certain crazy point in an episode. So they would tease this by posting a call to action onto Twitter and also freezing call to action it on their RebelMouse page inviting their fans to find themselves and hashtag the content, chat cam, and submit their reactions. So what you can see here is then they get to show a combination of their own content alongside awesome fan content to make the page feel like the fans are really contributing. And what we did for them was enable a DM to be able to be sent to anyone whose content was included. So then the people feel like they're a part of the page, they get excited about it, they share it, engagement is up across the board, and submissions were up week over week, every single week that this campaign happened. I'm going to pause for 1 second. Does anyone have a question so far? Okay, Eric Straub, what's your question? Okay, Eric, you're unmuted.
I was just curious if on RebelMouse, because I mean, there's tons of great content, but I was having a little bit of trouble searching to find a more consolidated list of these pro tips that I'm seeing in the webinar now.
Oh, okay, I see it. So Eric asked, is there a more consolidated list of pro tips available? I can certainly send you that. I'm going to make this deck available as well as the recording, so I can share those links as well as some additional pro tips that I have in mind. And I see one more.
Thank you.
Okay. So Matt Bologna is asking, are there plans to allow tagged or keyworded posts from Pinterest and Tumblr to populate automatically to RebelMouse pages? So we are actually talking to Pinterest. As soon as the API is open to something like that, we are absolutely going to make that available. Thank you for the great question so far. I see one more. Okay. So Darrell's saying, what is the best way to get more engagement after curating the content? We definitely recommend using call to actions prominently on the page and then tweeting out links to that page as well. That just leads to double the amount of eyeballs seeing it and realizing it that you're taking in fan feedback and posts and actually including them instead of just posting your own stuff. So for example, that Fox page, they actually called us in the morning the first time they wanted to use it by that evening's Monday night episode. And we had it live by the show. They tweeted out just before, and we still got really great responses even that first day. But the combination of that call to action and the DMs going out to people whose content was posted and then them sharing about how their stuff was posted just led to overall excitement in the community. So engagement was up week over week. All right, I'm going to keep going and then jump into some more questions. What you're looking at right here is a couple examples from MTV. The one on the left is great because it's what was happening on this page is Live for Now is this awesome campaign from Pepsi that's ongoing. However, the page before RebelMouse was involved ended here and was just a static page. Now, an image of Beyonce is an image of Beyonce, and it was still awesome, Queen Bey. However, once the RebelMouse embed was included, it really enabled the page to take on a new life and be vibrant. And there's constantly new tweets being pulled in from what the fans in the community are saying. So all of a sudden, this page that is live on both VH1 and MTV enables their fans and community to be a part of it, and the traffic on that page is through the roof. What you're looking at on the right is a page that MTV did for the movie awards, where they added a Twitter list of the host and key attendees that were there, and that was the only content being pulled in. They wanted to be an inside access, and so it was a great way for them to have that content easily pulled right onto the site. So like that video you're seeing there was from the dance circle and was posted within minutes to the page. Or if you weren't in that dance circle, there's no way you would have seen it sooner. Okay, and Sharknado. This is a great example of how if something happens on the fly and you don't necessarily even have time to get something embedded on a website, you can spin up a RebelMouse page in minutes, including a custom header, which I'm going to show you how to do, hashtags, handles, and curate that page to spin up and curate around a subject that is important to your brand. And then even as a workaround, if you do want it somehow on your site and you still don't have the time to get it embedded, you can do something like what Sci-Fi did, which is just link out to the RebelMouse page itself from their front page within 15 minutes of this page being up. So it enabled the fan conversation to be a part of the whole phenomenon. Time 100 did something great where they curated around the hashtag Time 100 and were able to freeze the best celebrity tweets on the top. So that's what fans saw first when they came to the page. And they wanted them to cut through that noise of 71,000, as well as include a piece of sponsored content here, which is something that we can work with you all on a case-by-case basis. Email early@rebelmouse.com if you have more questions about that. And this is giving you instructions within your dashboard. You go to the embed tab and you just click generate and can generate that code right away. So I'm going to cut out of the deck now because I want to make sure we have time to do some more live examples. So here, before I jump into live pages, wanted to bring this up quick. This is an example of a Rebel ad that's live on Business Insider right now, and it's sponsored by BlackBerry. And this is generated via their RebelMouse page. And so Rebel ads are our new product that let you turn your social content into ads. And so it's more visually grabbing. It's not just a traditional piece of banner ad real estate. It is tweets and pieces of social content that have been turned into ads and styled to match the page and then linked through really to wherever you want. But in this case, we're going to take you to a full page RebelMouse. So this is what you see when you click through that ad. So it's on Business Insider, fully branded as BlackBerry, and styled how they want it to be and curated by the team. And to jump into what you can do with custom work, here is something that AOL has done that's awesome around Nicole Richie's show. So this is all AOL. And then they wanted to introduce social. So this module right here is the RebelMouse embed with fonts matched, with colors matched, and plugged in exactly where they wanted it. And the way that happened is the same on every page. You make your site by logging in on that first screen I showed you, and then the first place you want to go is the dashboard. Content and feeds is where the magic happens. This is where you can add in any hashtag, any handle, any Twitter list, as well as Facebook, Instagram, Google+, Flickr, stock tweets, LinkedIn, YouTube, Tumblr, RSS, Pinterest, anything you want. And RSS is important to note as you can pretty much RSS anything in here, any articles, blogs. You can also add content straight to the front page here. Let's say you love this Fast Company piece that I showed you in the deck earlier on innovation. You grab it, post it right here, and it thinks for you. It reads the headline, it reads the image, it pulls the tag and the URL. However, if you want, you can jump in and change this copy and say, post, boom, now it's on your page. And if you want, you can freeze it. So that example I showed you of time where all those celebrity tweets were frozen on the top of the page, all you do is hover on the upper right-hand corner, and you can freeze. You can also, let's say you're making that Sharknado page that you need to spin up on the fly. All you do is click within your page, click Edit Header, go to the second option, Add Large Header Image, and then I'm going to do Add It by URL. So click Upload from URL. You paste the URL there. Oh. One second. Let me do that one more time. There we go. And then I want that whole image in there. Done cropping. Now I'm going to publish. And now I have my custom header. And if you're like, wait, actually that font or that color is not right, you can go back here. I'm going to try white instead. It's as easy as toggling back and forth. You hit process, and now it's white. Okay, great question from Jeremy Kutner. Do you have any insight into how fans are getting to the sites? Is it direct traffic, Google traffic, or coming from social? So if there's no ad in place, yes, the best way to get there is to promote on social. We recommend that even if an ad is not being created, there is something that is pointing back to your page. Another way to go about this is by creating a teaser unit, which is done the same way you'd make a page using simple RebelMouse embed code. So a great example of this is Time Out New York, actually. They have one live in their right rail. So Time Out New York editors picks, this whole tool modules over here, this is all just a RebelMouse embed. And then if you click here, go through to more picks, now you can see their full page with all of their editors picks being pulled in. So we absolutely recommend finding some sort of real estate either on the front page of your site or another prominent section of your site to host a teaser unit like that. The second iteration is this type of unit that I showed you that could be on a third-party website. So if it's music, maybe it's on Spice.com. If it's fashion, maybe you're on Forbes.com. Whatever website could make sense for your brand, we can help match you, and then you can have those ads link back to a RebelMouse page that's embedded anywhere else. Great question. Let's see. Okay. So Anjali, I see your question on having issues with feeds. If you could please email at early@rebelmouse.com. We will absolutely look into your issues. Thank you for asking. Randy is asking, can content be embedded onto a website versus directing someone to the RebelMouse URL? Absolutely. That's we actually encourage you to embed directly to a URL instead of the RebelMouse page. So just so you see, all of these examples that I was showing you in the deck are actually embedded on websites. And the way that's done is a single line of code that can be pulled from your dashboard, or else if you have questions, you can reach out to us to confirm. But any person at any time within your page, click embed, scan this to make sure it's right, click generate, and you pull this line of code and plug it wherever you want it. To show you some additional visuals, I'm just going to jump through some more examples. Sports teams are using us. I love what the St. Louis Blues are doing. They have all their buttons up here. They have the official counts of all the players over there. That's not us. That's right on their site. And then they have a great RebelMouse embed right here that you can scroll through. Also have, this is an example of a small business using custom header, and this is actually a powered domain, which is another thing you can do via RebelMouse. We have a program where you can power your domain via us for $9.99 a month, and there are certain features that come with that, like removing of modules like these over here and connection to Google Analytics, and the ability for it to be powered instead of just /rebelmouse.com. But they've done a really great job of pulling in their content to run their small business blog. Here's an example of someone, while they are using RebelMouse, they used, on the design tab, you can play with Typekit integration to change up the font. And this is an agency that's used us to power a section of their domain. And as you can see, they've played with the colors to blend in with their site and their company's branding. I want to make sure we have time to jump into the design tab. This is where you can play with 5 different layout options. So let's say you're doing something that's really visual, it's sweet, and you want to highlight those images well. Click on here. And now all of a sudden, all your images are big. If you decide that's not right for you right now, it's as easy as jumping back into the dashboard, going to design, and flipping back over to another option. We call this one Big Middle. This is the one we tend to recommend to most people, as it will read content that has media and pull those into the middle always. So it will think in that way for you to enable you to juxtapose more visual images with some Twitter stuff. So now this is what it looks like. And Cuvée Coffee is using Giant Splash, which is an additional option on that design tab. So this is a page in the wild. They have this Giant Splash added, and then once you scroll down, it's back to Big Middle. So you can use a combination of these. Want to make sure that you guys saw within Dashboard that you can also add in any custom theme right here. You just click on this space, and you can also add any custom typekit right here. So that really enables you to make sure the page flows with everything going on your website. If you have any questions about that, you can always reach out. We got to wrap up here, so I just want to see if there's a couple more questions. Get them in. I'm going to try to get to a couple more. Eric Straub's asking if you can have different designs for different RebelNav pages. Yes, you definitely can. And please email early@rebelmouse.com if you want more detailed instructions there. Within RebelNav tabs, you can have different designs. You can also have them link out to completely different URLs or sites, in addition to just different search terms within RebelMouse. Michael is asking, how do you find the dashboard? The dashboard is in the upper right-hand corner. Once you log into your page, it will be in the upper right over here for everyone. Let's see. Gary is asking about Rebel Ads. You should email early@rebelmouse.com and we can fill you in on any details. Okay, I'm going to write that out for everyone. For any questions, early@rebelmouse.com. There you go. I am going to ask one more question. Let's see. Okay, Eric has another great question. Have there been any examples of political campaigns or organizations? Actually, a ton. We have an amazing church that asks people what their faith means to them and has them take pictures of them with written out signs. Lots of great examples of that. I'm going to have to end this for today since we've been promising that they're only going to be half an hour. So thank you guys for all of your amazing questions. And please follow up with me at early@rebelmouse.com, and we will get to all your additional questions. Thank you again for joining, and I hope you guys can join us again soon.